Hey, good afternoon everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to our latest video, our latest podcast. We're going to be looking at the biggest thing that gets people to ring us, and it is symptoms. So we're looking at why symptoms are often people's worst nightmares, but we're also looking at, actually more importantly, why symptoms can be your best friend. So let me explain. So commonly, in our society nowadays, we're very disconnected from our bodies in the sense that we all want to feel good, and a lot of us, if something doesn't feel right, we don't always stop and question it. We want to take... Sorry, I was just saying, in our society now, we're very, very busy. We're all trying to pack a lot in with career, families, hobbies, interests. So if we get a symptom, a lot of people that I meet generally don't want to take a tablet to try and suppress that symptom. So a lot of people come to our clinic say, Mike, I'm here because I don't want to take medications. And I say, why don't you want to take a medication for your symptoms? And people often say, well, I don't want to mask it. I don't want to hide it because if I hide a symptom, my problem might be getting worse. And I think that's very, very intelligent thinking indeed. I really do. So then we start to look at basically, why are symptoms useful? Now, in order to understand that, I've got to explain a couple of very important but also quite bleak concepts about symptoms. Just one second, just keeping my little cues that I've made here for today's talk. So here's the thing, your health is where you are on a line between being dead and buried and as full of life and living as well and getting the very most out of life that you possibly can. That's your health. One end, we're dead and buried. At the other end, we're absolutely full of life, achieving everything that we should do, with or without health conditions. And what happens is, somewhere between those two lines, when we have problems in our bodies, we may, and I stress the word may, we may get a warning called symptoms. So something hurts, something tingles, we're sick, something changes colour, we don't feel right. Now here's the thing, your body is very intelligent and it does not want you to go towards that end of the scale where we're talking dead and buried. So it will give you symptoms like a little warning sign. It's like your body hoisting a flag up the pole and saying, hey Mike, there's something not quite right here and I need to draw your attention to it. Okay? That's the first thing it's doing. And normally when we sit back and we think about the pain when it's gone, we probably don't actually think about it at all. But if you keep getting a problem that comes back and back and back, whether you've been and seen your chiropractor, whether you've taken a medication to mask the symptoms, and I'm not judging, people just do that. In a way, if you keep getting the same warning coming back, no matter what you do, it's safe to assume that your body is trying to give you a message. And that message from those symptoms is this: you're doing something to us that's pushing us towards that dead and buried end of the health scale. And I don't know about you, Mike, but I want to be more towards the full of life and living well end of the spectrum. And I'm sure all of you watching this think exactly the same. So a common example is when people keep getting backache, they come and see me and we give them chiropractic care, they go do, I feel better, and then they come back in and go, don't know why it's come back, I've got the same problem. And often, just being blunt and telling it as it is, most times when we get a symptom, we can do something that will relieve the problem to some extent, but it's not correcting the problem. Now, a really common one is people will come and see me and they don't change anything physical in their lives. So they might go straight back to the desk job that they do, and they don't do any physical activity like walking or yoga or just anything really, anything to try and balance all that sitting at a desk or all that driving to work in a car. So your body says, you know what? I gave you that warning of the pain. You went and did something to try and relieve that pain, but you're not taking care of the underlying problem, Mike. So if you're not going to bloody listen to me, I'll give you a bit more pain. And if that happens over a few years, I'm going to give you an even bigger warning. And that warning is, look, we're getting damage building up and we're going towards that dead and buried end of the spectrum. So when you think about it like that, even though I don't like symptoms, and I'm sure you don't like them. They're trying to tell us that we need to change something. And it's so important that anybody going to a chiropractor or having any kind of healthcare intervention understands that, because otherwise, do you really want to keep patching yourself up? If you thought of yourself as being like a car, right, and you take that car on the motorway every day, right, and your life is more important than any car that goes on any motorway, if every day you just keep patching yourself up and patching yourself up, if that was a car and you don't ever get it taken care of properly, but a warning light comes up, so you go and put, I don't know, put a sticker over the warning light off your cup of coffee so that you can't see it, and then another warning light comes up and you go put a piece of chewing gum over it, sooner or later that car's probably going to explode. And that is like a lot of people's health. I'll give you an example. A lot of people who eventually have heart attacks will have warning signs like high blood pressure. They'll have warning signs like diabetes. They'll have warning signs like headaches. They'll have warning signs like eye damage. And your body is saying, look, do you know what? Until we really explode and have a heart attack, I'm going to keep throwing warning signs up at you. Here you go, here you go, here you go. But here's the kicker. Symptoms are actually a very incredible warning system, but a very unreliable warning system, because for some reason, a lot of us, perhaps it's because we're not as connected to our bodies as we could be. But here's the real kicker. The real kicker is a lot of people don't get any warning sign of a problem until it's horrific. We've not taken care of ourselves for that long, and we've got that disconnected from our bodies, you know, on mobiles all the time, busy all the time, that we don't realise that we're heading towards a problem. And there's an old saying, the first sign of a heart attack for a lot of people, unfortunately, is death. And again, I'm being blunt, but that's the problem in the world of chiropractic. The problem is you can help people with things like pain all day long, every day long. And people love us for it. And I love seeing people feel better. But here's the thing, there's a massive difference between easing up a symptom and feeling better, which is really often just a patch. It looks magical to people. But if people come to a chiropractor or have any kind of healthcare intervention and they don't change, excuse me, sorry about that, and they don't change something, at least just something small, if not a few things that led them to that situation, they're probably going to get the problem revisiting them, but it'll be an even bigger version. So this is why, no matter how good we're feeling, we shouldn't just trust that. You know, once you're a good weight, you don't carry on going back to eating bad food, too much of it, too much of the time, and wait to get all overweight again. You generally stay proactive. If you've done an exercise program and you've gone to the gym, I don't know, 3 times a week for a couple of months, and you're fit, you're strong, you're in the shape you want to be, you know that if you suddenly stop it, you're probably going to drift back towards where you are. So, hey, that's an example of where symptoms can become useful again, because when people are healthy, but they take the foot off the pedal, they stop exercising, they stop eating well, they'll generally not feel as good as they could, and they'll generally start noticing things like they feel tired all the time. They'll generally notice more aches and pains. And again, things like feeling tired all the time isn't really normal at all. It's another symptom that probably half of our patients come in with. And people just go, yeah, I'm tired. It's a bit like headaches. People nowadays believe that having headaches is normal. And really, again, being tired all the time might just mean that you need to get more sleep. But often it means that we're not taking care of our health as well as we could generally. So again, I keep saying it, symptoms, if you get them in a sense, you're lucky, because your body's trying to talk to you and it's trying to give you a warning so that you keep alive. Because let's face it, every single person watching this video right now, and I love you all for tuning in, and every single person who's going to watch it around the world has got some beautiful big purpose to fulfill in life. And your body giving you symptoms is your body's way of saying, you know what? You're bloody special. You're meant to be here doing something big. Let's give you a little gentle reminder that you might need to walk more. You might need to drink a bit less. You might need to stop smoking. You might need to just eat more fruit and vegetables. You might need to run good emotions through your head like love and kindness. I hope this is all making sense. Anyway, we're getting a bit deep here, so I will come back to this topic pretty soon. I want to say thank you everybody for tuning in. Please feel free to share the videos, and next time you feel an ache or a pain, ask yourself, what's this trying to teach me? What might I be doing that's causing this that I need to look at? Or what might I not be doing that I need to do to help prevent this? Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Mike from Wigan Family Chiropractic, the world's favourite chiropractic place on the face of the earth. Bye for now.